Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Parrish, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing news. I am Phil. Oh, that's right. I got an announcement too. But yes, I am Phil. Joining me as always, it is.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
And Nightwing the Cat.
And Nightwing Cat, yes.
So tonight we are talking Titans Season 3, Episode 5, Lady Vic, and Nightwing issues 147 through 150.
I think that might have been episode 6, Phil.
Was it 6? Did we talk 5 already? I mean,
yeah, 5 was the one about Jason Lazarus.
Oh, yeah.
I know, time flies, right?
I know, man. We're just flying through this. Yeah, you're right. Episode 6, Lady Vic. You are right. Man, time flies. Because, 13 episodes this season. Yeah, we're pretty much like halfway already.
Yeah, I mean, this week will be halfway, right? 7, I guess. Well, I guess with 13 there isn't. Yeah.
I guess literally like maybe halfway through this week's episode will be halfway.
Yes, there we go. Halfway through this episode.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lady Vic, okay, what did you think? I know you said you liked it for the most part, but there were a few.
So I liked it. I would just say the only thing that I didn't like was, of course, and I think maybe instead of me saying it's gritty, I should say it's much more morally ambiguous than the comics. So I thought it was an interesting episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, well put together, and it fits in this universe. I was just disappointed that they had Barbara and Dick stealing stuff and then not giving it back. Like I could see Barbara in the comics going to a museum and taking something to prove a point. Yes, that your security is bad, and like waiting for the cops and being like, Dad, they need to beef up their security. But I could not see Barbara Gordon taking stuff and then keeping it.
Yeah, that seemed complete. I mean, again, like you said, like if it was comics Barbara, I could see her stealing the stuff and then the next night breaking back in again to put it back and be like, oh, see, you're
right. Yeah, she wouldn't steal stuff to keep it.
No.
And neither would Dick, not the comic. And so I guess I was just particularly disappointed because they've already, like this is the 3rd season with Dick, so they've already like done things with Dick Grayson that I would prefer that they didn't. And so far I've been really jamming with their version of Barbara, and then they smacked me in the face with Barbara stealing stuff and not giving it back, and I was like, no, you even got to Barbara.
I just don't know why they make some of the choices they make on this show. It almost seems like they go out of their way to say, oh, yeah, look, most of these people aren't nice people. And I'm like, Dick Grayson's supposed to be a nice person. I mean, if you want to mess with...
They're all supposed to be nice. Well, I mean, aside from, like, Hank, I mean, even Hank in the comics is, like, not all bad, but he's a little less nice, I guess you would say, than most of them. But Corey is extremely nice.
Yeah. I know.
Donna is nice.
I mean, I don't expect, I don't agree with all the things they do with Bruce, but if they wanted to go that way with Bruce, I could maybe see that. But no, Dick's supposed to be the nice guy. Some of the stuff they have him do, it's like, no, that's not Dick. Like,
right, and even with Jason, I feel like they're making Jason like a little too bad.
That's the other thing. So Jason now is going to create, be the catalyst for Tim becoming Robin.
Right, yeah. I mean, that was kind of, it was like, Jason gave those guys the no fear drug, and yeah, then they shot Tim's dad.
And so again, they go dark because it's like, instead of Tim coming in saying, Batman needs a Robin, and I want to help, and I figured it out because I'm smart. they just do another dead parent origin.
Yeah.
Ooh, how original.
And I mean, he might also figure it out. But I mean, to be honest, figuring it out is not going to be anything special in this universe because I mean, to be honest, it's like, are they trying to save money in this season? Because are those costumes real? I mean, I from what I understand reading reviews with movies, these superhero costumes are very difficult to get in and out of. So we've only seen the Nightwing costume a few times. And I don't think anybody else, well, Jason's been in his costume, but I mean, we haven't really seen anybody else in their costume. I guess to a certain extent, nobody else has. Well, a little, I don't know. It just seems like we haven't seen their costumes. They're much more doing this in just regular people clothes.
Even if they made like the half-assed attempt like they do in the comics, like if he wore like a baseball cap and sunglasses or something and be like, okay, he's hiding his identity, at least it's DC. Even if he just wore a pair of glasses, did the old Clark Kent disguise, but nothing. They do nothing. He wears
right. I mean, he walks into Simba and he's like, I'm Dick Grayson. And Ronnie's like, her name's not Ronnie, but that's who she is in Schitt's Creek. She's like, I know who you are.
I know. Does he uses his real name too? It's like, why wouldn't you, at least use a fake name or something? Or again, if you want to like, do an homage to the comics, have him wear like a wig and a mustache or something.
Or skinny jeans and a hoodie and sunglasses like he did when he was Robin in Young Justice.
I don't know if it's just like a Hollywood thing where it's like, the actors want their faces completely show, it's just like, and we don't want to confuse the audience. It's like, we know who this is. Come on.
Right. Yeah. I don't quite know what they're doing. Well, and it wouldn't bother me as much if Dick consistently did things only as Dick, but not sometimes as Dick and then sometimes as Nightwing, using information he would have had to gather as Dick Grayson.
Or if you don't want to put that whole suit on, he strolls in the GCPD just wearing the mask. Come on.
Yep. That being said, I do still like Gar in the show. I feel like Gar has, aside from in some of the early episodes where I think, don't they have him kill someone? Like, whoops. But that is like par for the course in this show.
Wasn't he like under someone's control too? So.
Yeah, well, and I thought it was also like he wasn't totally in control of his changing and stuff when he was in the Tiger. But I do like Gar, and I think they are doing a pretty good job with Gar. To a certain extent, sometimes in the comics, Gar, particularly in the 80s when they were not as averse to casual misogyny as we should try to be now. Sometimes I go back and read and I'm like, oh, Gar, that is kind of makes me wince there. What you're saying. So I do think they have Gar a little more in line with kind of how he was in Teen Titans, the show, and a sort of, more mature version of Gar. So I do still really like Gar. And Superboy seems pretty good. I don't know. It's just like everybody from the Batman family. They're making really dark.
I know, especially in this show. But what did you think of Corey's sister?
So that's kind of cool. I'm interested to see where this goes, because of course, I thought that season 3 was going to be a Blackfire season. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. Her joke. She kind of had some funny jokes about he's fulfilling your needs. I'm like,
that was your manservant. Okay.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with those two.
But yeah, again, that was the big disappointment in this issue, is just the Barbara stuff. It's like, she's not going to steal and keep it.
Right, yeah. If that had not been in there, this would have been a really good episode, because I thought, the Starfire, the Blackfire, and a lot of the characters are saying really good Titan things about how the Titans are family. So they've definitely got that part right.
Yeah.
So that was good. Yeah, I just was like, oh man, why'd they have to make Barbara stealing stuff?
But yeah, again, like you were saying, maybe Tim's going to find out about the Titans and everything, because it's like now Scarecrow knows everything, and sort of got to kill him off.
Right. I guess I will say that at least I'm excited that they used a Batman villain that wasn't Joker.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll give him credit for that. And Scarecrow is a pretty good choice because, he's definitely one to mess with your head. So
I wonder if it's just a coincidence or if they knew Fear State was coming, because Fear State started in the Batman comics. So
yeah, I don't know how far out they know that stuff. I feel like maybe not, because weren't they gonna do this in 2020?
maybe, yeah.
And then pandemic. So yeah. I mean, I guess overall I feel like this has been a better season than 1 and 2. I feel like they're kind of finding their footing better. I just wish people wouldn't make as many bad choices.
That maybe lighten it up a little bit. Isn't this where Dick is supposed to lighten up with the Titans as opposed to with Batman?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, we couldn't use the Joker because the Joker had to quote unquote kill Jason, and then Batman kills him. That's kind of dark.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm glad that they're not using Joker. It's always good when they use a Batman villain who isn't Joker. It shows that they still have the capacity to mix it up.
Oh yeah. All right.
Speaking of a villain who isn't Joker,
yes.
Unless you have any last thoughts, but I think I've said them all.
No, that's fine. Let's get to the Great Leap.
Okay. The Great Leap.
And it's kind of sort of part of Batman R.I.P. I guess it's taking place around the same time.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Does this really? Because it didn't seem, aside from when in one of the issues Dick mentions to Alfred, kind of feels like Bruce isn't coming back, doesn't it? And Alfred's like, yeah, that felt like it was the only mention.
Yeah, and I forget if it's this one or the ones we're doing next week. Yeah, there's one point where Two-Face says something to him about, when you were locked up in Arkham. That was in Batman R.I.P. So.
Oh, he does say it in this one. Okay, I guess. So that must have happened in a Batman issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get to see any of that in any Nightwing issue. Yeah, so.
So that sounds kind of what happened. Why did he end up locked in Arkham?
Well, because Dr. Hurt's guys basically took control of the city. They had control Arkham. So yeah, like Nightwing came to help. But yeah, it's basically he gets locked in and they really don't see him until like towards the end when they all bust out and start fighting back. Yeah.
Okay. I think there was an earlier many years ago where he was in Blackgate during a crossover event and needed to go do some stuff. And I think I might have been thinking of that.
Yeah, that was was that during the earthquake? Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Yeah, no, at the end of R.I.P., it's like, Batman, jumps on Dr. Hurt's helicopter and the helicopter goes down in the river. And that's where I don't know if you've seen that that splash page before. It's Dick standing on a rooftop holding Bruce's cape. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like pink and blue in the background.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't have that. I don't have that cover. That was one of the variant covers, but yeah.
All right.
I've seen it.
So yeah, this is taking place around the same time because it starts in Nightwing 147 from October 2008 by our good friend Peter Tomasi, who I reached out to again, but he must have something going on because I think was it this weekend or last? I think it might have been this last weekend. He was supposed to do a Comic-Con appearance, and he must have had to cancel for some reason. So
maybe he doesn't want to get COVID.
Well, that too. Well, I swear, I looked on his Twitter. I thought he said something about I don't know if it was like a family thing or something. So,
well, I hope it all works out for him because someday I hope I can talk to him so I can tell him just how stoked I was that he put the cloisters in the Nightwing comic. Someday.
Maybe I'll send a link to him, Mr. Tomasi. If you see or hear this, yes, the door's always open. Just let me know when you'd like to join us.
I want to thank you face to face.
Oh. Wait a minute. That deserves a good old.
I will say, so when did this become the Nightwing symbol? Is this like the minimalist version of Nightwing?
I think for a while, I mean, I think it because that's kind of what he had like on the front of this, the stripes on the front of the suit. I think they kind of just made that the symbol for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a stylized version of the suit,
Yeah.
but I never seen like it was quite that skinny. I mean, we've seen it before like that, but I don't know. It doesn't quite
I think it's just for the signal in this. Yeah.
match up quite like the bird does, the sort of bird thing. But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he started prior to this doing the. No, it's not bungee jumping.
Skydiving.
Thank you.
But he just keeps doing it from higher and higher.
Naturally.
That's right. But then, oh, look who's put up a Nightwing symbol.
And it turns out it's Two-Face.
I love this art, especially like when he's like comes down on that signal.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But yeah, Dick breaks the light. I love they're on top of a movie theater and just like what's playing Double Jeopardy. You only live twice. 2 for the money.
Yep.
Of course, because it's Two-Face.
Most definitely. And it's like a second run theater, I assume, because none of those are new releases, so pretty good.
And then Two-Face says he needs help. Can't go to Batman because Batman RTP. Batman's kind of crazy right now. So,
Right. Yes.
But I love how Dick's like, "Who are you talking to? To me. Who won the coin toss?" He's like, "Well, I'm not shooting at you, so I think you should. That should tell you who won the coin toss."
Like, all right, fair enough.
And of course, I love how Tomasi brings up, how Two-Face, really hurt Dick when he was a kid, when he was Robin.
Yep. That's become a major part of the lore.
Yeah. But basically, this is just Dick getting in faces in Two-Face. Or Harvey says that, there's a life at stake. An old friend of his, Carol Birmingham, who's now the district attorney in New York. They came up in the Gotham ranks together. So is he saying, well, he loved her and then his wife, Gilda. But yeah, Carol left Gotham, go to New York. She's targeted because she's a witness. She's been a witness to the most powerful individual's actions that incriminate. Yeah, she's testifying in open federal court.
Yep.
But she is in witness protection. But Harvey's like, let's just say my faith in the abilities of the federal government is somewhat lacking.
And that turns out he's right.
And so Dick says, she's an innocent person in jeopardy. Of course, I'll do it.
That's right. Although I feel like, I was kind of torn when he punches Harvey in the face because I'm like, all right, he's been pretty bad to you, but also he's not being bad to you right at this minute. Did you really need to punch him in the face?
I mean, when a guy beats you with a baseball bat when you're 13 years old, you might have some unresolved anger issues toward this person.
I know.
And again, just the back and forth, because when he's punching him, Dick says, "Why don't you finally pick his side and stay on it?" But yeah, that's after he got Harvey gives Dick the location, and then
Yep. Of course, he's got a double game so that Nightwing can't take him back to Arkham because he has to go save some other people.
Yep. What is this?
Harvey dumped in, of course, the double O sugar silo. But I do really like this part, how he saves them, and then he says, they hug me for half an hour until they stop shaking. And I like that. That's really sweet. And, it's a good distillation in just one panel, of Dick that, he takes time, like he'll take the time to like fully finish the job, I guess, as opposed to just like, okay, great, now you're saved. I got to go on to the next group of people. Not that either one is better or worse than the other, but this is good to show his style.
And even just like the jokes, even if it's just in his head as he dives into the sugar. Glad I'm not a diabetic right about now. And again, I mean, I guess in this respect, Titans is a lost cause. But if we come on, DC, why aren't you doing a Nightwing movie? It's like you have the you can do your Batman, but he's friendly. He can have the jokes. I mean, come on, people like the jokes in their superhero movies.
Yeah, for sure they do.
So yeah, he saves these people, but then wait a minute. So I guess they had Carol hidden in Gotham City.
Yeah, I know. I was a little confused by that because Harvey's saying, I mean, they're in New York, and Harvey's saying she's in New York, but Dick's like, I'm going to take you back to Arkham, which is not like that's a quick little trip. And then, yeah, all of a sudden it's in Gotham. So, yeah, I was a little...
And two, it's like, okay, hey, we want to protect someone who's been threatened to get killed. Where should we hide them? I know, one of the most dangerous cities on the planet, Gotham.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't you take her to Metropolis?
Exactly. Why isn't all witness protection in Metropolis? Just so if something goes down, you can yell, "Hey, Superman, help!"
Yeah, and he's like, "What's up? I'm here." You should say, put every witness protection person in Metropolis near a phone booth. But then I did like how I thought it was really cool visually how they hinted whatever. I mean, it's a comic book, so you kind of had to suspect something was not on the up and up with these people that were escorting Carol. But then how they show you blood leaking out of the trunk of the car, these are really not the right people.
I just love how Dick comes like flying feet first through the windshield.
Well, you wouldn't want to go head first through.
Oh no, yeah, but just taking down everybody in the car, everyone except Carol in the car.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, well, she doesn't know what's going on, so she tries to pepper spray him or mace him or something. He's like, nope, I got a mask.
Yeah, but then somehow, so yeah, maybe we got confused. Maybe the testimony, maybe she's works in New York, but the trial's in Gotham.
Maybe.
Or not quite sure, because yeah, she's in Gotham, but it's like it seems like it's dark outside. I don't know. I guess we can't really tell what time it is.
No.
I guess the lights. It's getting a little bit light out in that first panel because then they're underground in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Because then it's day when he gets her to the courthouse.
Because he tells her, it's hard, Harvey Dent, tipped me off the wheels going down, and actually swings her to the courthouse.
Yep. And they come in the window.
So then he takes off, and but he's still wild. Well, I'm thinking it's in New York now because once she's leaving, he's watching them take her by helicopter. It's NYPD, so.
Yeah, but he says when you get back to New York. So the trial must be in Gotham.
Yeah.
And then they're saying when you're done being in New York, when you're done with this,
Yeah.
we'll bring.
But the cops trying to get on a helicopter. Sniper starts shooting. So Dick dives in. Gets his glider, heading for that. Oh,
Yeah, and of course they are not. I mean, they're assassins, so they're not careful. So they shoot the helicopter pilot.
well, I mean, if they want to kill her, I mean, yeah, they take out the pilot. That's pretty,
Yeah, I suppose that's true, but
But yeah, Dick's able to
that
swoop.
also puts a lot of other people in danger. But I suppose if you're a bad person, you don't care about that.
So Dick Grayson did it first. Nightwing did it first. Remember that trick from Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1, kids? Yeah. Dick swoops through the helicopter, grabs Carol, and gets her out just in time.
But it turns out he's bleeding.
Yep. So I guess when he takes shrapnel. Oh no, did he? Oh yeah, didn't he? Yeah, he took a bullet. That's right.
Mm-hmm. And then we get this. This is a pretty intense cover.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the covers for this are all pretty good.
Oh yeah. I think the art all around it, yeah, inside, outside, it's all good.
Yeah, but this one, how it's like a bat. Yeah.
Yeah, the blood's in the shit. Yeah, and then you got Alfred running up from the bottom there. Yeah. I love the top Batman R.I.P. and then it's like Nightwing R.I.P. ?
Thankfully not.
Man, if they took out Bruce and Dick, I mean, I guess Tim would be in charge.
That would be tough with Damian around.
True. So yeah, we see the sniper still firing. So Dick calls his glider and gets them out of there. He has to hold Carol with one arm, and then he has to hang on to that glider with his arm where his shoulder's been shot. So he's not in great.
Doors are in a safe house. I guess in New York. I'm not quite sure.
Well, I mean, I think we might have done that. They may have mentioned this before. I mean, Bruce Wayne has like safe houses in like major cities and stuff.
Oh, right, it's earlier. I think it's in the arc before this. Remember, Dick sends him that list of buildings that Bruce should buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like after the earthquake, it's like, yeah, I think Bruce like started putting like little, even in Gotham, like little caves all over Gotham. So,
but it also could be, even though it's an NYPD helicopter, it could be that the NYPD helicopter came down to get her.
True.
And they're still in Gotham.
Oh yeah.
I feel like if he was flying his glider from New York all the way to Wayne Manor, he might be dead by now.
True.
That's a long time for a lot of blood loss.
So if this is Gotham, yeah, that Bruce definitely has safe houses. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But whatever. Neither here nor there.
Yeah, so he gets there to this building, opens the hatch on the roof, and says, yeah, lock the hatch from the inside. Don't open it for anyone but me. Then locks her in. Yeah, then he basically just hangs himself off that glider and sets it for Wayne Manor.
Yup. Alfred comes in to save the day.
Yeah, it makes sense because Wayne Manor looks like it's right across the river from the city. So yeah, that's got to be Gotham. So somehow the glider gets him into the cave.
Crash lands.
Yeah, crashes in the cave. Yeah, Alfred picks him up. Sorry, Alfred. Hope I didn't wake you. So Alfred's going to do surgery to pull that bullet out. And then Alfred, this is the last time I allow you to talk me into using only lidocaine for a procedure of this nature. While you and Bruce, your other masochist in arms, insist on remaining conscious while you are splayed open like frogs in a biology lab is beyond me. I mean, if it was a hospital, it's one thing, but it's Alfred. I'm like, why, So
I can't totally, I mean, as well as you could probably gather, I've never been shot. Yeah. Yay! So I can't say for sure with this, but I do know that when I went to get my wisdom teeth out, well over 10 years ago, I didn't want them to knock me out all the way because that scared me. So I was just gonna do like the laughing gas kind of thing. But that also scared me when they started doing it. So I was awake and I just had them numb my mouth all up. So I guess to a certain extent, I can a little bit understand. I mean, I think it's not for the same reason that these guys are just a little bit control freaks and they want to be able to see what's happening. But sometimes the going under stuff, I don't know, that can be scary.
I did get my wisdom teeth out. What was I, like 19 or something? I mean, yeah, they knocked me out because I remember thinking, I was all worried. I'm like, oh no, this stuff's not going to knock me out. They're like, count backwards from 100. I think I got to 97 and I was out. Next thing I know.
Oh, so you weren't even like in that hazy in between?
I was out. Nothing. Again, I remember being
See, I was more scared. Maybe it's because I had braces for 4 years, so I'm pretty used to being like, and having someone mess around in my mouth. But I was too scared to even consider full-on anesthesia, and then I got real freaked out with the
they knocked me completely out. I don't remember a thing until they're pulling me out of the chair, and like I said, my dad had to like put me in the car. I just remember everything. It's like you're drunk. Everything was like very funny, and then I got home and I just slept the rest of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I also slept when I got home, but I remember hearing my teeth crunch as they pulled them out. So I kind of get it, but I highly doubt that. Like I said, I highly doubt that Dick and Bruce do it because they're scared of anesthesia like me.
I think in this case, I think Dick doesn't want to have to worry about being unconscious for too long. He wants to get back.
Exactly. Yeah. They do it because they're going to disobey doctor's orders and get back to crime fighting too soon.
I love. When did you learn arthroscopic surgery in Alfred? Osmosis, really? You'd be amazed what you pick up from by watching the Discovery Channel.
Yeah, and then Alfred says more impressive medical stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's in this one, 148, where he says, "I'm worried. As am I, Richard. As am I. He's really gone this time, isn't he, Alfred? Yes, I fear that he is."
But the Alfred still knocks him out, doesn't he? He's like, "It wasn't lidocaine, was it?" No, it wasn't. The fully.
Yeah, he does put some in it. Alfred knows what's up. He knows how to work it. Alfred's been through this before. In the end, I imagine Alfred, and these silent pages are really good. Seeing how Alfred is.
Yeah, because and that image of like him throwing the bloody glove, and it like as it hits the display case of that Robin costume, so there's like blood trickling down that Robin case.
Yeah.
But yeah, Alfred just cleaning up, then just sitting there holding Dick's hand while he's sleeping.
So sweet. Oh. Then I imagine Alfred is like, "Oh, I should have given him more."
Yeah, because Alfred falls asleep. Because hours later, it says, "Yeah, Dick jumps on a bike and takes off."
Robin cycle. Carol almost hits him.
Yeah, he
there. Okay, then it does say, "Let's get going. Next stop, New York." So yeah, they must have still been in Gotham. They obviously were still in Gotham.
Yeah, he gets there. Carol's like, "I thought you were dead. You were dead." I have a good healthcare provider, and the deductible's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, this must be again. I mean, they must get to New York. Bruce must have a safe house in New York too, because one-way bulletproof glass and steel doors on the top floor. Tells her to stay on the top floor. You can see out, no one can see in. Fully stocked fridge, HBO.
Even a special stun gun.
Yep. If anyone else but me comes through that door, it delivers a 20,000 jolt.
Yep. And he gives her, the emergency button. But then, her phone rings. And man, it's still a flip phone. Because this 2009 was still before iPhones were totally ubiquitous. I mean, I think the first iPhone came out in like 07 or 08, but
I think, yeah.
Not everybody, everybody wasn't immediately
on
it.
I don't think I had an iPhone at that point.
I didn't get one until like 2012 or something.
But he's like, "You recognize the number?" She's like, "No." He's like, "Here, keep this attached to the phone so I can try to trace it." But it's Harvey, of course. Yep. Is he taking care of you? She's like, why this sudden interest? And he's like, what, rescue? So basically, I guess Two-Face is, well, there was going to be a hit out on her anyway, but Two-Face decided if anyone was going to do it, he was going to kill her.
Yeah, but he's not saying that, right?
I know.
Right, because I guess is that a gun that he's working on while he's on the phone?
Yeah, I don't know if he's cleaning the gun. Yeah, took it.
Yeah, I don't know enough about guns to. Oh yeah, that is because he's putting it together when he's like, "Do I know how to pick them or what?"
Yeah, I think he took it. Yeah, he took it apart to clean it. He's putting it back together. Yeah, but then he does mention Black Glove, so yeah, it's all Batman RIP stuff. How was your little stay in Arkham? But he's like, oh, glad you're watching, Carol. Keep up the good work, Nightwing. So Dick says, I'll be back soon. You promise? Promise. Because he goes to get another glider from his headquarters in the cloisters.
Yeah. Woo, woo.
Oh Lord, but yes, Alfred calls Dick and says the 2 bullets I pulled out of you, they have a chemical on them. An exact match for, hey, we're just talking about this guy, Jonathan Crane's fear serum. And he's like, since when is Scarecrow a sharpshooter?
Isn't.
So Alfred's like, get back here and get the antidote. And Dick's like, it can't. There's a security breach at the safe house. So he goes back. I like how the window just like opens up like that so he can jump in.
Yeah, that is pretty snazzy. Jump in right to the bullets coming out at him.
Boy, yeah, he jumps in. Looks like there's Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, Penguin, Joker, Killer Croc, Scarecrow, Poison Ivy. Yep. It's trapped.
But are they all really there?
That's right. Spoilers. But yeah, that cover's pretty cool too. Yeah, 1-for-1.
That's pretty cool. Yep.
So yeah, Dick's seeing all these villains, and I love, even if they're not real, I love how he's just like dancing around them and hit and run, and but then he sees, it looks like Scarecrow got to Carol, and she's basically just like bleeding a pool of blood.
Yeah, I know the ones with, there's a lot of blood. I mean, obviously, that is a ridiculous amount of blood. It can't there can't be that much blood there.
I know. And then Dick's like thinks he's like drowning Scarecrow in blood, and then Poison Ivy wraps him up in some vines. Maybe you and I should share some tongue, Nightwing. So yeah, Dick thinks he's fighting all these rogues, and yeah, a lot of pages here of this whole fight. Oh, and then supposedly Joker comes over with a crowbar.
Yep.
Good thing you grew up and didn't wear the red, green, and yellow that day. Yes, a bad day to be a bird. And most definitely a bad day to be a Robin.
It's always a bad day to be the Joker.
Yep. Dick grabs that crowbar and smacks him with it. So then Dick starts seeing through it. Then Two-Face is there, but all the rogues were just like henchmen. And okay, here's the reveal. Yeah, Two-Face is saying he should have put more of Crane's fear serum onto those bullets. And Dick's like, you shot me? And he's like, impressive, right? Took some sharpshooting lessons last year. You learn from Deathstroke's rates are a bit absorbed in it, but they always say it's good to learn from the best.
Indeed.
So
he's like, you asked me to keep her safe. What are you doing here? And he says he's honoring a contract. So I assume somehow Harvey was, even though Dick put that, because Carol answered the phone and he was like, don't do that. I don't know, somehow that must have been enough.
Trace it, yeah.
Yeah.
By killing someone you care about, well, maybe if you fulfilled your contract, I wouldn't. So Two-Face is like, yeah, I'm going to kill her. Maybe if, you had done what I said and saved her.
Yeah.
So Harvey Dent knew Two-Face was going to do this. That's why he went to Dick. But he's like, come on, Harvey, don't let him do this. And, Two-Face is like, maybe you should wipe the blood from your eyes. Harvey's not here. Because, Two-Face has a gun to Carol's head. You don't want to do this.
And then he says,
you got a choice.
He says, let's flip for it, but it's not just any old coin this time.
That's right.
It's or he's doing an explosion at the same time.
Here, look, flip it. So,
or says he's falling. I like how Carol slaps him across the face and is like, Harvey, fight him.
Yeah, because as Dick's falling, he's hallucinating his parents.
Yeah, but he shoots his line out. His parents' perceived weight pulls me out of his fear. But he shot Carol. And she says, are you just going to watch me die? And Harvey's like, no. I'm just going to walk out slowly so I don't slip on your blood.
Well, yeah, because he kind of shot her in the middle. So, of course, when Dick comes back up, he sees Barbara. And, he's trying to keep her alive, but... Yeah, next thing we see is a funeral. And then... Yeah, it seems Two-Face took the contract from the people who wanted Carol dead, but Two-Face goes to the guy who paid him, and while screaming, Nightwing was supposed to save her, guns the guy down.
Yep, that's pretty intense.
All right. I forget if it's 150. I love that cover.
Yeah, that's a pretty good cover too.
That's the one I have in print, but I think there was like another one too. But yeah, that one is pretty awesome. But yeah, 150 opens at the cloisters. I mean, I guess it makes sense, but was it ever canon before this that Dick is like as scarred up as Bruce?
No, I think this is the first time. Yeah, I think that's why this is pretty famous, because he has some scars.
I mean, I don't think it's completely out of character, but I'm just like, that's Bruce's thing. I mean, yeah, Dick takes some hits sometimes, but Dick's usually the one who can dance around it.
Well, he's not as scarred as Bruce.
Yeah, true.
And now, and he was just recently shot, so some of those bullet wound scars are pretty fresh.
Oh, yeah. So then, he's on the computer. He's talking to Barbara. Oh, no, Barbara shows up because...
Which, I don't know if they have anything like that at the cloisters. That seems kind of... maybe it's an Imperial crown, but it's looking a little post-medieval, something that style. But
I mean, unless you just bought something at the store as a joke.
It would be hard for her to, pick up the dead knight's tomb, be like, how much for this?
Unless it's like a Halloween thing, or so she just picked up the joke. So yeah, because she just like comes in because she's like, oh, I better upgrade your security system. Yep. He's like, what brings you to the Big Apple tonight, you stupid? Remember that guy Alfred works in a cave, pulls bullets out of bodies, and then watches the idiot with the bullet holes in his body drive off on a motorcycle? He's the tall, trim guy helped raise you from a young, fearless trapeze artist to an old, idiotic trapeze artist. He told you about a possible hallucinogenic fear agent coursing through your body that maybe flying and fighting wasn't the best idea after the trauma your system had just been subjected. And of course, Dick, a life was on the line.
Like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, which at that rate won't be long. Like, do you have any salt you want to pour in the wound?
But she's like, come on, Dick. I know you and Dent have a history. I know he almost killed you when you first started out as Robin, but you need to take a step back. Trail's gone cold. Regroup. Maybe Two-Face left New York. He's like, no, that's not it. You know, Harvey's pissed at Nightwing, and Two-Face is going to let him forget it. He's here somewhere. When I find him, there's going to be hell to pay. I love. He's like, and when I find him, there's going to be hell to pay for all the lives he's taken. She's like, did you just hear yourself? What? Foreshadowing. What?
Yep. You sounded like Bruce.
I know. Your voice has never sounded like that before. It sounds like Bruce. That cold, hard, cold, crushed gravel thing he does with his voice when the cow goes on. Foreshadowing.
I can't remember where it was, but it might have been crack.com once. I saw somebody describe it, the Christian Bale version, as whiskey and thumbtacks, and I really like that.
Oh, yeah. At least it's better than George Clooney. George Clooney didn't even try to change his voice.
Well, neither did Adam West, and we still love him. So, yeah.
But she's like, yeah, I'm worried. Everything you've been going through lately with Bruce. Call it women's intuition, but something's coming and it's not good. We need to be strong and ready to handle anything. Wait, this sounds familiar. I think after Fear State, we're going to be kind of here too, or Dick and Barbara are ready thing.
Could be.
I mean, look at the pattern, man. Seems like every 10 years or so, Bruce either dies or has to leave drops the ball somehow. And yeah, it seems like.
Maybe it's just a desperate cry for a vacation.
Oh, yeah.
I like how he says change it to Big Top because, believe it or not, Barbara life's a carnival. But if I were Barbara, I would say that's a terrible password. Someone would guess that for you. If they knew you. I mean, maybe not right away, but eventually they might get to that.
At least throw some numbers or something behind it.
Exactly.
Oh, you really wanted to do an Easter egg, make it like Big Top 1938, 1940 or something.
40, yeah, exactly.
So then, was it Harvey's?
Or like Big Top 38, because it was Detective Comics 38 that he appeared
in. But yeah, Harvey brings flowers to Carol's grave. Sleepy Hollow Cemetery.
Well, Washington Irving was from New York.
Mm-hmm. But
and then he shoots all the gravestones.
Yeah, because basically Harvey and Two-Face are arguing with Two-Face. Like, you haven't had a connection with this woman in years. Yeah, so basically, Harvey's basically telling Two-Face, shut up. So one of them starts shooting it at the gravestones, which Dick finds later.
Yeah, and they're all smoking weird. It's pretty wild.
Is there still fear toxin on those things, maybe?
I don't know.
It looks either.
Well, he's about to scan it, but then he gets a call from Deb, who we've kind of forgotten about existing, and Dick has also forgotten about her.
And she's like, how about dinner? He's like, a little crazy tonight. New inventory from overseas, 13th century. Wait, it sounds like something you'd say.
Yeah, it is.
History stuff. And she was like,
yeah.
I was actually.
Trust me, if anybody delivered things from the 13th century to my house, I wouldn't be going anywhere. That's for sure.
Actually, I was talking about the dinner plans we already had a half hour ago. So
he's like, whoopsies.
She's like, no, if it's too much trouble. He's like, no, I'm starving. And, they're going to be scanning and opening crates for at least another 5 hours. Your computer's gonna be scanning those bullets for another 5. What? Nothing.
Yeah. This is one thing where, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't know. He doesn't really do that much with Deb. I mean, he meets her when he's doing his research and they go out a few times. I mean, it's not that serious of a relationship. I don't know. It always kind of seems like it's better. Maybe it's because he was with Starfire for so long in Real People years. I mean, that was over 10 years
that
they dated. And then, I mean, he was really in Real Person years only with Barbara for 7 or 8, 99 to 07, 08.
They're always on again, off again.
Yeah. But yeah, and then they've kind of been that. I don't know. It's almost a little bit weird when. I mean, I know he's been on short dates with a lot of people, but it almost feels weird when they have people. It feels like Dick knows that he needs to date another superhero person. So it always seems a little bit weird when they have him dating someone who's not.
I know. I think it's
because I think that was part of what, I mean, many reasons, good writing. That was part of what made the Dick and Starfire, the Nightwing and Starfire, Robin and Starfire relationship work for a long time. Was they knew, they didn't have to hide anything from each other, and that's also why he works really well with Barbara.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it worked better when he was, with Sean. She knew both sides of him.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So I feel like, I don't know. It's always like, I get it that that they think we readers want that and they want to inject that kind of stuff into our comics, but I don't know. It always feels a little bit.
I mean, we'll get into
it. Feels a little bit weird.
I mean, we'll get into it more next week, but I mean, yeah, because I mean, they kind of break up next week, but it's basically Tomasi wrote her out. Well, she says she's leaving New York because of stuff that happens in this issue, and then and then of course Dick has to go move back to Gotham because
other stuff that happens.
Yes, has to get his inheritance.
Yeah, but it's like you get here, and like it was kind of funny with Clancy, and he and Clancy weren't really dating. So I don't know. It just kind of seems like I understand why. I don't know. I guess it's still in the early stages, so he's working up to see if she's someone he would want to reveal the secret identity to. But I feel like, Dick, you should know by this point that you just need to date another superhero because otherwise it's not going to work.
Clancy got written out in such the weirdest way. Like, she gets like electrocuted, taken to the hospital. I don't think she ever shows back up in the book. And then I think she shows up in Tim's Robin series later because she started.
I thought she shows up in one of these ending things with Tomasi because doesn't Dick see her in New York?
Clancy?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I could have sworn he sees her somewhere because she's a psychiatrist.
Oh, unless he. Maybe. Maybe. It's before this. What we're reading right now, I think.
It might be in Free Fall.
Maybe. Yeah. Because she was going to school for some kind of medical thing, I think. Because I think she showed up in Tim's even for a while too. So.
Oh, did she?
I'm trying to remember if that's where.
Maybe that's where it was. I thought I remembered something about we see Clancy. Which is, I thought, like the first indication that she didn't die when Bloodhaven got blown up.
Yeah, she got out. I know. I'm trying to remember where it was out, but yeah, she got out, so she didn't die in Bloodhaven. But I don't think we've seen her since New 52.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's like I don't object to Deb. She's fine. No. But it was like we didn't really need her in any of these issues.
Well, again, too, I think she's here, and then in the ones next week, just so we can, Tomasi gave her an ending. She's moving, and
no, I know. I guess I'm just saying that I feel like sometimes they will give. I think they like want Dick to be having relationships, and they think the readers want romance, and sometimes it works well. Like I thought the stuff with Sean because he was like really in love with her and knew, makes sense. But like everybody doesn't have to invent a love interest, I think, because a lot of these didn't really need it.
Well, I don't know if maybe he had more plans for her, and like the whole thing with the cloisters, that seemed like a long-term thing. So I'm trying to remember how many issues we got out of that, but I'm just thinking, yeah.
Not enough, I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, but then once, Dick has to go back to Gotham and become Batman, again, everyone.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that, yeah, because that was one of the things is, as we've been talking about, or as we mentioned sometimes, I think, unfortunately, the Nightwing series was more uneven than the Robin series in terms of the quality. Or maybe I shouldn't even say in terms of the quality of the writing, but in terms of the like whatness of some of the stories. That definitely some of the Nightwing stories, I was more like, what is happening here? That they just seemed a little more off the wall.
I think it's because Dick's book changed directions more because he had more writers in his first ongoing series than Tim did.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what you were saying. And maybe it's also somewhat easier to be consistent when you have someone who's a teenager who's in school.
Yeah.
So you don't have as many options as someone who is out of school, so they can do or go anywhere. And I know there was also the kind of confusion thrown in when they were going to kill him and then they decided not to, and so they also gave some weird direct editorial diktats to Devin Grayson that he couldn't be in the costume, I guess because they were kind of trying to like wean him away from the Nightwing identity before they killed him, but then they didn't kill him or something. So yeah, there was definitely just more unevenness. Oh, which is to say, when Tomasi got the book, it really started to jam, and so it was sad when it had to end.
Yeah, because everyone has to do whatever the Batman books do.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, like, we got good stuff afterwards, thankfully. It was just kind of a bummer. And in retrospect, I was like, I wish they had given Tomasi the book and Dick had moved to New York and the cloisters earlier because, yeah, like you said, I think this stuff really could have had legs.
Yeah. But yeah, after dinner, yeah, Dick and Deb go for a walk, and then Two-Face's guys are throwing pennies off. Is that the Empire State Building?
Maybe, I don't know, some tall New York building.
Very tall building. So yeah, he gets her under a car or a truck, and then he's like, I gotta go help people.
I know, see, that's what I mean. It's like, why are you dating regular people?
And they just start writing down notes for Nightwing. So Dick puts Deb in a cab and says, I gotta, I have to make sure the museum's safeguarded. So he takes off running. And then I guess
he first goes into the bank. Oh, because he knows one of the bags that the pennies are in comes down, so he knows where to go.
Yeah, that's where all the pennies came from. Because yeah, the guard and a bunch of people were locked in the vault. Because he's like, yeah, it took every penny we had. And then we see Two-Face flipping his coin, basically to burn New York. And then Dick's just like questioning punks, trying to find out what's going on. And then Tarvey hijacks a bunch of blimps. Because Dick's like, I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden he just sees a bunch of blimps fly past the cloisters.
Yeah, because nobody knows what's up.
So yeah, Dick hitches a ride on one. But yeah, they're all going to drop some kind of acid on Two-Face's orders. So yeah, Dick crashes one, I think, in the river or something. But then Dick gets his glider again and comes swooping in as it blows up.
Yeah, and somebody like aims a rocket at Nightwing, but it ends up. Oh wait, does it? I guess it destroys his.
Yeah, it takes out the glider, but it's
glider.
He gets on one of the blimps and he grabs a line and he starts tying them all together, leaping from blimp to blimp. And I love how the police helicopters show up and they're like, uh-oh, he started spraying acid. I guess we better not mess with him. Wouldn't that be the time to mess with Two-Face? Wouldn't that be the time to try to bring him down?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Two-Face, maybe a little drizzle will convince them to keep some distance. Maybe they're afraid that if they get him, then he won't be able to shut it off or something.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
So yeah, Dick ties the last of them together, and it comes swinging in at Two-Face.
Two-Face, oh come on!
Oh, feet first again.
You should break through glass with your head first, Phil. That'd be a rookie mistake.
But I'm saying that's awesome because it's like kind of like the same exact movie used in the first issue.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're fighting. You're not saving anybody today, kid. I'm far from a kid, Dent.
I know, and this is a weird one to me. I never forget a masked face I take a bat to, especially one that used to wear a big R on his chest. How does anybody by this point not know that Nightwing used to be Robin? I feel like that's just basic knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he acts like, oh, I'm so smart, I figured this out. I was like, dude, everybody knows that. Your grandma knows that.
But yeah, because Harvey's or Two-Face even like, yeah, and all those moves used against me, I know who you are. And you're not as thick as you used to be. You've gotten a lot more observant in your old age. So yeah, they're just like fighting in this blimp, and then
Dick goes like all WWE wrestler on him. He wraps his legs around him and
oh yeah, trying to choke his oxygen out so he passes out. Yep. But you know, he's screaming, "You let Two-Face win." He's like, "No, Harvey, you let him win." Yep. So then Dick is able, since he's in the lead blimp, to lead all the other ones into the river. And he pulls Harvey out. I guess they come up on Liberty Island because he comes up next to the Statue of Liberty and says, "Hey, lady, nice to see you. Hope you don't mind if I rest here for a minute or two."
I hope all the other dudes got out of their blimps.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they're conscious when they hit the river, I guess they could have swum out, but
I mean, they should have seen it coming. Like, they were all tied together, and
I guess that's the other cover for 150.
I like ours better.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I have that other one in paper too. Yeah.
Nice.
Damn camera. Yeah, so
but that's my thing. This is how I can feel like when I'm reading a comic. I feel like, oh, those other guys must have jumped out because they saw it was coming. But if this were in the Titans show, I'd be like, oh, he just killed all those dudes.
Kill them all. I know, yeah.
That's what I feel is the essence of the difference.
Yes.
But there we go.
So again, a good story. I mean, you got your action, you got your heartfelt moments with Alfred.
Got some fun moments with Barbara. Mm-hmm. Cloisters, mention of 13th century stuff.
I was gonna say there was something there for everybody.
Indeed.
See, it's kind of the way to do it, like a tie-in, like the Batman RIP, but you really don't have to read Batman RIP if you don't want to.
Right? Yeah, you just know something's up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can figure out what might be up by the title, Batman RIP, like, But yeah, then a couple times where they're like, he might be gone.
Just enough stuff sprinkled in there to, like, maybe entice you to read it, yeah. Yeah. All right, so, but yeah, next week, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna do the last 3 issues of Nightwing's first ongoing series. So, yeah, 151, 152, and 153. I think the first.
I mean, 153. And what are they at right now? 80 something?
Yeah, 80.
I mean, they're over halfway to the length, though.
As long as they keep the numbering, yeah.
And he already had 30, and then he was Grayson for a while, and so he.
You know what they should do? They should do like what like Marvel does. Like they'll put like whatever the new number is, but they'll put like the legacy numbering under it. So like where they add all the series together, like Amazing Spider-Man right now, it's like 72. It was like the last one was like 72 or something, but legacy numbering, it's like 873 or whatever. because they add up all the previous series. Yeah.
I guess Detective is the only one that they're kind of still doing that with, right? Because Detective is over 1,000, so that is like keeping up with the
in action. Yeah.
Oh, in action, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. The two flagships.
Although I'm surprised they've let Batman go over 100.
I mean, Batman was already like 600 and something when they renumbered. It's like, oh, ouch.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder if they're going to do. I'll probably use some special when it hits like. I don't think we've gone past. Have we gone past 900 yet? But definitely when we hit 1,000, they're going to be like Batman 1,000.
Yeah, maybe when Batman hits 1,000, they'll start numbering it like boom. Now, yeah.
Hopefully.
But I mean, they do still have several more years for that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes by faster than you think. Because I think are they doing Are they only doing Batman once a month? I was going to say for a while there, I know they were doing it twice a month.
Right. I mean, Nightwing was twice a month for a while, which is why we're up at 80 some issues. But still, I mean, I think Batman. I mean, because when Detective ended, they were like almost at 900 already. I mean, they were like 880s or something. But I think Batman might have only been in the 700s.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When New 52 started, it was only like 713 or something. Yeah. All right.
They got a few more years to achieve that.
Exactly.
All right,
kids. Oh yes, my special announcement. I've been announcing us on all the shows. Starting in October. Well, the Southgate Media Group is getting disbanded, but we will still be podcasting. We'll still be doing this show, but especially for Nightwing News, starting in October, you won't be able to catch us here. Catch us over on Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks, because that's Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks starting in October is going to be all of our DC shows. So we'll be over there with our We Are the Night, the Batman show Lilith and I do, Sector 2814, the Green Lantern show I do with the Will and Matt, and then Comic Capers, where Lilith and I basically do anything. We're going to make that DC centric. So yeah, kids, if you like the Bat Family, I mean, it should be on the same day, I think. So yeah, so Nightwing News should be on the day after the Batman show. So yeah, starting in October, if you're not subscribed to Capes and Lunatic Sidekick, subscribe so you keep getting this program and many, many more. And keep sending in your feedback. Like I said, next week, Nightwing 151 through 153, and the next episode of Titans, episode 7, I guess. So email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Go join the Bloodhaven Bulletin, our Facebook fan group, please. Get all your Nightwing-centric stuff there. And also find links to this YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can always get videos for all of our episodes, including this one. Please, again, more important than ever, please go subscribe to the Patreon, because once
you see our mascot.
Yes. But yes, please subscribe to the Patreon. Southgate Media Group will no longer be paying the bills. It'll be myself and the other co-hosts. So yes, please subscribe to the Patreon, whatever you can give. Or if you don't want to do that, you can make a one-time donation by picking up some merch. We got cups, we got t-shirts, we got phone cases. I believe we have stickers also. So find links to all of that all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And if you want to support a humble history professor, yeah, go pick up Dick Grayson Boy Wonder. It's on Amazon. It's good. Do your homework, especially for this show. And if you have questions, you can send them in, because you'll answer questions, right?
For sure.
Even though it's a lot of other people wrote a lot of the other chapters.
I'll do my best. I'll also answer medieval history questions.
Oh, yeah, it's true. If you have questions about the 13th century, send them in.
Particularly if you have questions about the 14th century, that's really my jam.
Oh, okay.
Plague century, woo!
Nice. All right, kids. So yes, send in your questions. Get some diggity dank answers.
Diggity dank. Only the diggity dankest answers for viewers of this show.
All right. Yeah, that's right, kids. Come back again in October, starting in October. Make sure you're on Capes and Lunatic Sidekick so you keep getting the show. Be here for Dick every week.
I'm here for Dick.
And I will remind you every week until the changeover. So.
And then you will continue to remind them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can help. I'm on both, so I'll be like, yes, looking for Nightwing news. Go over to the Capes and Lunatic Sidekick. Yes, because starting in October, I mean, they're on the same day anyway, so they'll just swap podcasts. So Ultimate Spider Cast will have this slot starting in October, and Nightwing News will be on Capes and Lunatic Sidekick. Again, both were on Tuesday, so they're just changing podcast feeds same day. And again, please support the Patreon. It's in the show notes. YouTube channel, podcast, it's all in the show notes. But you can join us next week, same wing time.
Same wing channel.
The Nightwing News. Watch them blimps.